guys, it's Cindy Leach, your polymer clay tutor, and today's Studio Cam sampler is all about Inspector Buzzkill. Now, Inspector Buzzkill is that negative voice in the back of your head that keeps you from having any joy when you're working with your polymer clay. Now, I did not make up this character. It is actually from the imagination of Valerie from the YouTube channel Unruly Housewife. And Valerie she's from the UK and she's a polymer clay artist, and she's hilarious, by the way. You may want to check her out. But she was discussing this Inspector Buzzkill concept on a Facebook channel or a Facebook page, and it was a long time ago, and I wanted to weigh in on it with my Studio Cam members, so that's what this video is all about. If you have no idea what the Studio Cam membership is, it is a group of videos that is behind the scenes. They're raw, uncut videos from my everyday life as a professional artist and a polymer clayer in the studio. So whenever anything that's happening that's interesting in the studio, whether I have brand new products that I'm testing or a tutorial I'm trying to figure out that's going well or not so well, which is also a good learning experience, by the way. Or if I've got something that I'm really moved by that I feel like I should share with everyone, then what I do is I throw the camera on and I just let it roll. These are really raw, they're messy, they're unfinished, but they are the real deal. So I think you're really going to enjoy them. So today's Studio Cam sampler is one of those videos where I'm discussing this Inspector Buzzkill. So I think you'll enjoy it, and we'll see you soon. Enjoy the Studio Cam sampler. Oh, hi. I thought I would just talk to you a little bit face-to-face here and about something that was it's really, really common in a crafter's life, and I've been seeing a lot of discussion on these types of topics, which I'll talk about in a second, and it's worrisome to me to a certain extent, and that is when people get so worried about their end result that it ends up stopping them in their tracks. So I was recently just reading a discussion on Facebook, one of the groups, and they were talking about somebody called, they called it Inspector Buzzkill. And basically it's this sort of person on your shoulder, or this negative Nelly in your life that talks you out of being excited about what you're working on. So what they were talking about was this one lady. She has when she's working on a project, she works upstairs somewhere, and then she has to take it downstairs to bake it. And by the time she also calls the trip from upstairs in her studio or craft room and all the way down to the kitchen, she calls it the Green Mile. But anyways, she was talking about, she creates something, she likes it, and then by the time she gets down to bake it, she's already started to worry and panic about it not being good enough. She sees flaws in it. She's worried about baking it because there's going to be hairs in it or something that's not perfect, and she stresses about it. Sometimes to the point where she's already turned around partway on the trip downstairs. And this isn't just immediately after making something. She's fussed and fussed about getting it to perfection in the first place. And then she can't even get it down into her oven before she's already either trying to fix it frantically and then sometimes screwing it up, or worrying about it when it's in the oven and all that stuff, like it's permanently going to be wrecked if she doesn't have a chance for it to be fixed yet. And they were going to do this challenge. There's a group of them. They were going to do a challenge on making an Inspector Buzzkill effigy or some sort of thing. I know that we're working on trying to figure out a way to empower each other to not let this type of thing happen. But to me, just reading about it kind of made me depressed. No, it doesn't make me depressed because I don't get depressed about that, but it was depressing to read, is what I should say. And what I think is that, like, I was talking to Doug about it, and it's like, why would you be that stressed about something being perfect? Like, this is supposed to be a hobby for most of us. I mean, this isn't an assignment that we need to hand in, and it doesn't need to be perfect. And the only person, unless you work for a gallery or something, the only person you need to please is you. And to be stressing out and worrying about whether or not something's perfect is taking away all the joy that the whole reason why you're working on this stuff in the first place. It's a hobby. Or if you do it for some work, you chose it because you love it. So to put that kind of strain on something needing to be that good, it's an imbalance, really. You're equating your end product with your self-esteem. And, you wouldn't do that to a kid. A kid, I mean, you're being cruel to yourself. A kid, they're learning to write, and their first W is all over the place, and it's wonky, and it's not perfect. And you would never say, oh, that's a crappy W. Why did you do that? You would say, okay, well, you got to keep practicing. You do more W's until they get better. Or you don't care. So you make the crappy W's. It's not really that big of a deal. And I know that I really want to see in all of you your quality come up. Because if you're going to work on something, you might as well bring your quality up. But that doesn't mean that you shoot yourself down or try to control every last little bit to the point where it stifles you. You're supposed to be having joy from these projects. I see a lot of people, they buy things, they collect tutorials, they buy supplies, but they won't open up the packages because they're afraid of blowing it or ruining it or making something ugly. Then what's the point? Why would you, if you're worried about it, then do more of it. You don't have to show everybody. And I was thinking, maybe because see, my parents they had me super young for one thing, so they didn't really have any set rules. They were barely teenagers. My mom was 18 when she had me, and they let me just muck around. And I've been like that my whole life. I muck around, but they didn't ever tie their love for me on whether or not something I made turned out. And so over time, the more you have to put time into stuff to get good at it. And if you shot yourself down every time you made something that looked lame or crappy, then you would never move forward. And I think people are too afraid to just let it go. So I was thinking maybe if we all just built a catapult, and every time something we made was terrible, we just flung it across the field, then you could let go a little and enjoy the process. Now, of course, you don't want to be making crappy things for your whole life. You want to improve, and the only way you can improve is to do more of it. Some people improve faster. I mean, some people have some natural skills they're bringing to the table. Some people work with their hands all the time, and so it's easy for them right off the bat. Some people struggle some more. But it's that, well, I think the lady's name was Valerie. She she was talking about that buzzkill, that person that just comes in there and, kills the joy. Well, that's you, honestly. It's yourself, and you're talking yourself out of stuff. And the whole point you're doing a hobby or working on something creative is to express yourself. So stop being so negative to yourself and give yourself a break. If you're not good at it right away, then just do more of it. One thing you can do is you can learn to play a little bit. Maybe if that box of new pans or whole case of clay, you're afraid to open it up because you're afraid of ruining it, why don't you buy an extra pack or just an extra block that the only reason for that block is for you to tear it open and muck around with it. You have no intention to bake it, no intention to make anything beautiful with it. All you're going to do is play with it like a kid does. You're going to roll it around, you're going to smell it, you're going to feel it, you're going to get to know it, you're going to put dirt in it, you're going to allow lint to get in it, you're going to put paint on it, you're going to muck around. You can bake some of it, you can throw some of it out, and you can just let it be a supply that you get to know. Then you'll be a lot less afraid of wrecking the good stuff, if you want to say. Another thing you could do maybe is, if this is a problem for you, not everyone it's a problem for, but for some of you for sure it's an issue. Another thing you could do is go on eBay and buy up a bunch of, scrap clay. Or maybe you make up some stuff that you don't show to anyone. It's just your sample stuff. And so if you've seen me work on projects here in the studio, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. But the only way you can find out if they're going to work is if you get sitting at the table and just try it. That negative voice is some baggage that you've picked up along the way. You listened to somebody and they were just lying to you. They weren't being helpful. And if you want to do this as a hobby, or if you want to just enjoy your art, then it shouldn't really matter what anyone else thinks, and especially you. So you just need to just let it go. Go bake the thing. There's always ways you can fix something after, and just let it go and have some fun with it. So I hope you understand what I'm trying to get at here, and I'll talk to you more about these kind of things in the future. Make sure that you leave comments about how you feel about these kind of things, because I don't want any of you being held back. I want you to enjoy. I want you to do the projects. I want you to try it, whether it's something you like it or not. I want you to just really do something with this experience. Alrighty? Okay. See you later. Bye. So what did you think? Do you have an Inspector Buzzkill that is keeping the joy from your polymer clay journey? I'd love to hear your stories in the comment section below. And if you like this video, don't forget to click that like button. We really appreciate it. And also, do not forget to subscribe to this channel, because we've got lots of neat videos coming up in the future and you won't want to miss a thing. We'll see you next time, and bye for now.